Hey folks, this is Ben Gussel. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit here, especially you guys that are video gamers. Trying to calm down a little bit. And let me explain why I'm not so happy. I honestly, I really do try to play a lot of different kinds of video games. Steam, I try to work with Steam. It's not really what my gripes aren't so much with Steam. There is one gripe I suppose I still have with Steam, but it's not really something that it's not really in the forefront of my radar right now regarding I want to just play a really fun video game or two or three or four or try a few different ones, Try to get my mind off of other things that are very vexing. So this one issue, by the way, that's not I don't know if it'll ever be resolved. It's this roller coaster tycoon. I don't know, is it two or three? You can't save. You can't save your games, and I bought it on Steam, and Steam lost its rights or something to it, or I don't know. So did Steam make any kind of compensation back to people? No. Anyway, that's my only beef with Steam, and they do a lot of marketing and they help me find stuff. It's pretty cool, and they have some good sales, and can't complain. No. So I can't really complain about Steam too much. This rant this rant is directed at Beamdog. What were you guys thinking when you took on Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 and all the other? I don't know if you did Icewind. I can't remember if you did Icewind. Neverwinter Nights, all this other stuff. What were you guys thinking? Honestly, were you thinking, especially Baldur's Gate, the scope of the game? Were you thinking you had the people to handle this enhanced edition? The programmers, the quality programmers. Were you thinking that everything was going to be up to snuff? Whatever things you added, or a few things you changed. I'm not. There's so many other things that people are griping about that I'm not. I understand a lot of what that stuff is, of course, but I haven't even played the Siege of Dragonspear or the Black Pits or I don't know. All that stuff I had not. I've no. If I have any interest in that stuff, I'll have any interest. I'll have an interest in that stuff when I get to it. I just have had no interest to do that stuff because I've heard a lot of buggy, bad stuff about it, and I just have no motivation to do that stuff, to try it. And I really should because I love, as you guys know, I love Baldur's Gate. You guys have been following my videos. I love these guys. Nah. But here's my big thing. So you have this game. It actually came out pretty well. There's so many things. There's so many things in these big games I know to check and double check and triple check and quadruple check and so much code, so much. Oh yeah, I know. I'm sure this. In I don't know, dialogue trees or whatever. So in the original Baldur's Gate game, as far as I can remember, the only bugs that I experienced were basically an issue with the wyverns. That the game froze when I was in the wyvern cave. That was the only bug. So I just didn't go in the wyvern cave. That was easy enough to avoid. In the enhanced edition Baldur's Gate 1, 2, Throne of Bhaal games, Baldur's Gate 1 was actually, it came up fairly unscathed. That one was good to go. Baldur's Gate 2, I still have an unresolved issue with a certain lich by the name of Kangax. That's a little bit of spoiler alert, sorry guys. Yeah, just be really careful about his imprisoning, because if it so happens that he imprisons more than one of your party members, that you're kind of screwed, stuck. You have to go back to the earlier game and try not to have that happen to more than one person. So it's very annoying. There's no, at least on a Mac. I'm sure if you can command console, get the cheat to add someone back in on a different kind of computer, great, but on Macs, no, it's not possible. And keep in mind, this is something that I paid money for. Actual money. Yeah. So, Kangax, I know can do. Not a huge thing. So, I think I've played on this. I played the old version a fair bit. I beat the game. I've beaten the whole game. I've beaten Throne of Bhaal, definitely at least a handful of times, which is more than I can say for a lot of folks. But I see, just to let you guys know, as far as my gamer thing, I'm not like a hardcore gamer where I don't spend every day, all day, or you know what I mean, a lot of my time. It's a hobby still for me, and I have no interest in playing at higher difficulty levels on Baldur's Gate because normal is fine for me. There are games I've gone up to higher skill levels or higher levels, and sure, I've played on I've played the highest level of some games. Sometimes it just depends on the game. It depends on you know, just yeah, yeah. So that's not really what I want to do. Is play on a same difficult level or Legacy of Bhaal. That's not really that's not something I ever want to do really. So the issue I'm having is with Draconis, and and the first time I played on the enhanced edition, I can't even remember if I beat a boss. I can't even remember if I beat the game. I guess I did. It was like a year ago. I don't know. I honestly can't remember. Um, but when you have this character, again, this is spoiler stuff. Sorry, folks, but this character who's a small mage guy, and then Draconis, and then he gets big into a dragon at one point. You can't have your party members too close to him, trying to bash him. Otherwise, they get inside the circle that's supposed to be the size of his character, but yet you're talking You're talking about bigger circles with dragons, as far as their character circle. A character can still find themselves within that circle because it's just messed up. It's a very much a huge glitch, a bug in the whole system, the whole game. Yeah, so those characters cannot leave that bigger bubble. That's the dragon bubble. That's Draconis. They have to, so they're probably going to get killed because he does this wing buffet stuff, and you have to keep your distance from him, and you have to summon stuff, and you have to lower resistance and all this stuff to kill this guy. It just fighting a dragon is hard enough, especially if you get to the end of the Throne of Bhaal. It's like you have to just bring your A game. You have to have your A game, absolutely. There's just no messing around. For the most part, yeah. It's flipping hard. It's flipping hard. Some battles, the Watcher's Keep was amazing. It's just great. It's just very hard battle. You guys know which one I'm talking about. I don't even need to tell you. Yes, it's the second one with the seals. Before you get to the big boy Demogorgon, it's the second battle. It has 6 different really powerful guys. So this silly bug that has to do with not being able to leave the bubble that Draconis is in if your character's right next to him. It just, these battles are hard enough. And you throw in bugs on top of that, Beamdog. And I don't know how long it's been since the game came out. Like years. Years. And we're still having this crap to deal with? And not being able to, having this minor issue of King X is one thing, but when it's the freaking main quest, Throne of Bhaal, and you have this stuff that happens, there's no getting around Draconis. You can do Sendai, you can get more powerful, you can level up some more, you can do whatever. But at some point, you need to face all Okay, this is spoiler, folks. You gotta face all the ball spawn. You gotta kill them all. And Draconis is someone you need to deal with. You can't go past him. You can't circumvent it. So you have to find a way to defeat him without being in his bubble when he becomes the dragon. So why else am I upset with Beamdog? Well, I don't know what's happening with COVID-19. I have no idea how many tech support people are not in the office. I don't know how many people are working from home. I just don't know. I don't know how many questions they're having to deal with right now. I don't know if they're just to see an issue, they're just like, oh crap. There is no solution to that right now. So we're going to ignore it. I don't know what to think. I have not. I sent in an earlier question about Kangax. This was 2 or 3 weeks ago, at least. I don't know. It wasn't quite a month, but it was a while back, and I got an automated response, and they said, "Oh yeah, we're on top of it." Right. Sure. You bet. So I'll probably get this response about Kangax. I don't know when, and then with Draconis, forget it, man. I'll have beaten the game, or I'll have abandoned that game again, completely by the time they get back to me, for real. I honestly I don't. I'm not holding people to contracts right now. Even if I did have a contract, like COVID-19 just runs right in the face of everything. So I don't know what's happening with teachers with contracts, with students. You know, I'm trying to be really understanding and flexible with other parents regarding my own job. I teach music lessons, and so when it comes to these companies where, technically speaking, you can work from home, I don't see why not. Um, what's preventing that? Why is this such an issue? The one is COVID-19 should not be an issue so much with tech support, in my opinion. But maybe it is. I don't know. I really don't know. But I have no way of knowing. There's no phone number to call Beamdog. This is just a support email. Support@beamdog.com or whatever. I don't know. And then, my other issue with Beamdog is everyone's saying that, yeah, they kind of bit off more than they can chew. Wizards of the Coast. Yeah, Wizards of the Coast. And, well, basically, guys that own Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know how it all works. Of course, as you know, Gary Gygax was one of the founders of Dungeons and Dragons. But let's make a long story short. Wizard of the Coast kind of owns Baldur's Gate. I don't know if it owns Baldur's. I don't know if that's the right way of putting it, but basically the intellectual property of Baldur's Gate's basically Larian Studios is doing, or at least they're working with Wizards of the Coast. But Larian Studios they did Baldur's Gate 3, right? I bet you when they're talking to Larian, I cannot. If I was a fly on the wall, if Beamdog came up, I imagine they'd probably be a little bit nonplussed with Beamdog. Who's been happy with Beamdog? Who's happy with the enhanced edition? Really? No. There's a lot more. There's more no's than yays. My main thing about Larian Studios is Divinity Original Sin was actually quite good in my opinion. Very different, but it just takes a lot of juice on your computer, man. I haven't played the second one. I've heard the second one's even better. My computer isn't beefy enough to play it. And of course, my big beef with Baldur's Gate 3 is I'd have to get it I'd have to play it on PC. There's no version for Mac. Or I'd have to get a PlayStation. Getting a whole new computer, that's a huge... So, Macs are just not gaming computers a lot of times. It costs money. These things. Everything costs money. I don't know. It's frustrating, man. I mean, but Larian actually, they got their stuff together, man. Look, I'm talking about And it's one thing to have these indie companies. You definitely want to take it easy on the indie company, on a small company. If it's a smaller company, less experienced programmers, they do their thing. Whatever they do, they try to do it well. They try to make some money. Man, of course you want to take it easy on them. I totally get that. I completely get that. You know, yeah. Like, if a game works, if a game that costs $1 or $2, get on Steam, some smaller company, if it works okay, I tested it a little bit. I want to treat them nicely. Believe me, I do. But if it's a sizable company, if it's big, if they got experienced older gentlemen, sometimes it's not a question of age, but it's like they got beefy programmers. They got resources. They got money. The big. It's a different story when something comes out that's very buggy. I don't think any of us were asking for an enhanced edition anyway. I think maybe graphics were better. I don't know. This big old horsefly that I have to kill. He's leaving me alone right now, so it's okay, I guess. No, why? When you pay upwards of more than $10 or something, it should not be buggy. Period. And it's a waste of your time. It's wasting everybody's time when the same bug occurs over and over and over and over and over again for people. They're trying to play this game. Game publisher, they should just say, they come up with these patches, man. To be honest, this kind of stuff is people. I imagine people get so irate about this stuff. In a way, like they probably are just like, no, we want a refund, or we want partial refunds, or if it's a game-breaking bug, if you can't get past a certain point, unless you do some crazy crap to your INI files, or you don't want to mess with your yeah. I mean, you don't want to get into the wrong files that affect your yeah, essential operating system stuff. But like it's just, yeah. At this point, I think I've said what I need to say on this subject, but it just defeats the whole purpose of playing a game when you do this stuff. Like I wish I could just forget about all this stuff I've had to deal with tonight, and when I had an issue with Kangax. There's so many other things I wish I could not have to deal with that I'm not even talking about right now. But these are video games. These are supposed to be fun. So what boneheaded freaks are publishing this stuff, and selling it for I don't know how much money, and they think that, it's going to be just fine, hunky-dory. There's no way. Bugs. Oh, bugs. Look, E.T., the extraterrestrial, when it came out, Atari tried to rush it out, I guess. I don't know this whole story. They were just, that is the classic example of a buggy game. I do mean a buggy game. Or just, yeah, like, I've seen, I had an Atari 800. Fortunately, I never had E.T. the extraterrestrial game. But yeah, man, like, that thing would not sell. They had so many cartridges they'd made, they buried them all in New Mexico or something. That also led to this huge collapse in gaming at the time. I guess 1984 or something, right in that ballpark. And the first time we got the Atari 800, I was 5, so I would have been 1983. So everything we had was from the first games we had were from earlier time, like the 1980, 1980, 1981, or before then for a few games even. Like Missile Command, right? We also had Asteroids. We had some of that early stuff. And, anyway, later on we got some other stuff too, but that was the first computer I ever had. And so we were able to avoid, I look back on that stuff, I'm just like, there's a lot of games we never had because my parents were like, parents ran the show basically. Whatever games they said we could have. They never really, I don't know. Parents. So, you don't publish a video game unless you test the snot out of it. The bigger it is, the more you got to make sure that it's good. You've got to explore every option. You got to cover your bases. You get it. Every bug that's published in a game, right? You can patch it up, but it makes the value of the game go down. So it's not Baldur's Gate 1 or 2 that we have an issue with or throwing a ball even. Those games were fine when they came out, to my recollection. My computer had a hard time with the Wyverns again, of Baldur's Gate 1, but my old computer, the old version. But yeah, man, like, these are just a few of, I've heard many issues with Beamdog Essential Enhanced Edition. Stupid, ridiculous, nonsense. So when I finally get, and then their customer support or technical support, I don't know. When they finally get back to me, so I am the customer. I'm free to say whatever I want to say about them on YouTube, Yelp, wherever. Whoever. They're up in Edmonton. I think BioWare was up there too. Edmonton seems to be a hotbed for game companies. I don't know. Yeah, I know where they're at. Like, there's probably, I imagine, millions, at least quite a large number of people that have either made videos about this, or they have blogs about this, or they comments, threads, and Steam about a lot of this stuff. But the most irritating thing about all this is that they don't seem to get back to you right now. And again, what's going on? Do they need an engraved invitation? Is just having it, it's their product. It is their product. I mean, the enhanced edition is. Are they standing by their product? Are they helping? I'm the customer. I'm the player. Are they trying to help me? I haven't heard back. I haven't even heard back from them about my first question. I don't even know if emailing them is even an option anymore. I mean, are they just abandoned all hope on some things? Are some things impossible to change as far as the coding? Would it just mess everything up? I'm not a programmer, so I wouldn't know. But when you get invested in a game like this, and it's a big deal. Those of you gamers, and for me, I just immerse myself. I do not want to be kicked out of that immersion by these stupid bugs. When you pay $20, $30, $40 for a game. Now Bethesda, that's nothing too. Skyrim, all this stuff. I played these Bethesda games. Yeah, I guess apparently there are some bugs in Oblivion. I'm not sure about Skyrim, but they were so few. I mean, as far as I remember, but the whole point of those Bethesda Elder Scroll games, designed differently. They're not at all the same. They're not story driven as much. They're explorative, but they get repetitive very after a bit, after not too long. And so, I think it's just because it's not story driven. It's not conversation dialogue heavy, or the whole action. Everything's just different, right? It's different engines, different, loading maps and stuff. Whatever issues that Elder Scrolls would have would be their maps, be moving around, because there's so much jagged terrain. Um, some issue with getting stuck somewhere. I think that was usually one of the bugs in Oblivion, or possibly Skyrim, but at least Oblivion was getting stuck in some crack in a rock cliffy area or something. I don't know, like, and you're like, I can't get out of here. Finally find a way to get out of there. But those kinds of things, and there's other games that have those similar issues. Not a similar engine, but maybe a little different. Yeah. Anyway, I think I've said my piece again. When you cannot get your issues resolved, the only things you can do are make videos like this, and then try it again later, and try a different route. Like I said, try Sendai again. Try Sendai before Bazagal. But you have content in the game that you make it very difficult, but you don't want to make it difficult because of the bugs. You want to make it difficult because it's one of the hardest things to beat in the game. But you want it to not be buggy. If it's buggy, it's completely different. That's like if you're trying to debug something, you're trying to fix a bugging issue, at the same time you're trying to play the game. That doesn't work. That does not work. It's not good. There was an issue with Icewind Dale 1 regarding Belafet, by the way. The last guy you fight. I know sorry, spoiler alert, folks. And I never technically beat the game, but essentially I thought I did because I couldn't get around that issue. That was actually, I would think that would be BioWare's fault, or that was the original version. So I just I essentially beat the game. I told myself I beat the game because I had beaten this guy over and over again. He just wouldn't die. But I actually did beat him. It's just there's a glitch in the game I found out where you just couldn't. I don't know. So, these other game companies aren't completely innocent. It's not just a Beamdog issue. But this is Baldur's freaking Gate. I mean, as far as your PC games, as far as your non-video game console, as far as your computer games go, this is one of the biggest titles ever. This is like Superman, equivalent of Superman for PC. This is up there. This is like right there with Elder Scrolls Skyrim. This is gigantic, huge. Baldur's Gate's huge. So these bugs are a real issue. And yeah. If you can't make videos like this, you can't figure out the game, you can't figure out options, the only option is to give up at some point. Do something else. Your impression of the game unfortunately lowers. Maybe you say the original edition was better. We all want to have in our minds, I think that if we're Baldur's Gate fans, if we're hardcore Baldur's Gate. I'm a casual gamer, semi-casual. Well, it's a more serious hobby, I suppose. It's an off and on thing, but I know I'm a hardcore Baldur's Gate fan. That particular story, yes, I love it. I'm one of the guys that wants to see Baldur's Gate movie more than most, I think, but many people do, and so this stuff, man. Anyway, leave me thoughts and comments below. I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Bye.